Okay, dokie. See if we can pull this off this evening. Waiting for the tablet to kind of kick on. But at this point in time, I guess I'll say I'm working once again with a double glued layer of watercolor paper, 11 by 15. I work with watercolor paper. It's easier to store. It's a pretty decent size. And if I choose to sell them, it really doesn't cost a whole ton of cash to purchase. So that's why I use it a lot. So that is why. Okay, it's pulled up. I'll wait a few minutes, see if somebody pops in or not. There's gonna be a few people going live. So, well, Sonia, hello, how are you? Hey, Billy, what's going on? All right, let me skip through my own ads. Okay, there we are. Hello, Marilyn, how are you? And once again, I'll repeat it because a few people come in. 11 by 15 inch double glued watercolor paper, meaning I just took two sheets. I took two sheets and glued them together. So it prevents from bowing, you know, stuff like that. Okay, I don't particularly use 2-inch wide tape. I usually use the 1/2-inch wide tape, but I don't have any. Every time I mean to purchase some, I forget, and you know, it happens. So, as the title suggests, it could be called Mountain Madness. But what's going to happen is, it's not what you think when you look at it here. Okay, yes, these are mountains, but it's not what you think. Because these guys are going to be kind of subdued in the darkness, and then there'll be a cliff here, and then after the cliff, I'm gonna probably put like a little rotunda here with a little fence, and then I'm gonna draw some people, impressionistic people standing there going ooh ah at the madness. So I'm painting. So that's basically what we're gonna do today. All right. Okay. The colors you see down here, it's a very simple palette for right now. It's just cad yellow. Believe it or not, that's ultramarine blue, titanium white, and black, to which I very rarely use any of my paintings. Hey Bill, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, bro. Hey Maria, my God, look at this. Break out the champagne and sparklers. Hey Maria, how are you? I see all them homes you be selling. I see them. They come across my wall. I see them. You doing that little TikTok thing, people celebrating. I see all of that. I see you. So, Sonia, Bill is a very, very, very good friend of mine. I had a nickname for him, call him Big Bill. Built like a linebacker, but he got a heart of a lamb. He's got 2 kids that look just like him. Out in Arizona, he was the drummer, and I was the organist, and we were part of a group and everything. So, good memories, good times out there in the Valley of the Sun. So, I've self-imposed myself as the old retired organist. He's semi-retired. You know, I play for one church only, so I don't get out much. But that's Bill. Hold on for 1 second. One second, and we'll get to the festivities here. All right. So we're gonna do a few things here in the sky. And you'll see as I unfold this. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And can't believe it. Hey, Jim, Barker Laundry Jim, it's good to see you, bro. Yeah, it was almost, it's got to be over 20 years ago, actually. Believe it or not, I don't know where the time goes, Bill. Craziness. I look at Gant's sons. Dude, you kidding me? It's craziness, you know. All right. But you know, time waits for no man. As my receding hairline can attest to. Okay, so let's get on with the getting here. So I wanted to start it really from the very beginning, because usually if I do a painting like this, whatever's black has already been painted in. But it's not like I'm in a rush. Where am I going? So this black that I have, it is, I'll show it to you. Actually, it's Artist Loft black. All right, there's some thick stuff here. I like it. Okay. Now I do have the other kind, the Apple Barrel brand, and I use this also. Much looser paint. Okay. Usually I would go with this. I would use this first, but I don't, because if I pour it on here, it just kind of grows into one massive blob, and that's not really what I'm looking for tonight. So I don't want to really mess with that. I have Craft Paint White also, which, you know, does the same thing, but every paint has its purpose. You can blame Sonia for that, Bill, or Jim. You can blame Sonia for that. She should have never panned that camera over there, because you were sure looking mighty comfortable in that Barker Lounger. I'll come up with nicknames quick. So I just use just a tiny bit of water, no glycerin, just a little bit of water. Okay, and I will just cover the whole top part black. Like I say, my last painting that I did, ironically, last night, I did not really rush. I just ran my mouth, talked, and painted. Probably more than the same. It's just I'm not going to start at midnight. I don't think I got done with the painting until 3 in the morning or some crazy hour. But that was on Facebook. It wasn't on YouTube. It was just an experiment, because I was playing around with the lighting situation I have here and all of that. And I could never get a satisfactory position for the camera with me being left-handed, and everything's placed on the left. So at times you'll see my head in the way, and I try to not do that. I try not to do that anyway, my best not to do that. And once again, what I'm doing is I'm just dabbing a little bit of water into the black. Okay, that's it. What you don't see, you might not see it. The light might catch it. Is that the paper is starting to bow. That's because it's wet, and wet paper constricts, and so it folds. The reason why it folds is it's being held down by 6 pieces of tape, 2 in the back, and you got the 4 surrounding it, so it's not going nowhere. So the only thing you can do is bow outward. As it dries, it just comes back. Okay. But once again, I'm working on watercolor paper and not canvas. All right. Each surface has its own pluses and minuses, and I choose watercolor paper. One, it can take acrylic very well. It is a wet medium paper, and it's smaller, so I can store it. And you know, if I chose to sell it, and I do sell them, they're not going to really cost an arm or a leg, for the sheer fact of the size of the paper. Okay, but that's why. All right, so we got this underway here. And I'll just let that dry and I'll chat with you guys. So, yes, I've met quite a few good people online just doing this over the years. You know, some still stick around. You know, life kind of takes its course, and you know, people just like in life, you know, people have other things that come up or other interests, and they leave. Don't take it personal. It's just, you know, fact of life. Yeah, you got a select few that will, that, you know, they'll stick around with you. You know, and other people, you know, like I say, different paths. You know, some people, art might be just a way just to cope. Let's just say for the corona thing here, everybody's in their house. You done looked at all the DVDs 4 times each. You done read every book in your house, even the ones you meant to read and you never read for years. You done read that twice. So, you know, they go look at the artists and other people on their respective channels doing whatever. And some people, you know, find another avenue in life just by looking at the videos, and they may want to pursue it and try it out themselves. Not necessarily meaning painting, but I mean, it could be anything from playing the piano, I don't know, learning how to do home repairs, anything, because, you know, YouTube has very many subjects. This dog might bark. No, he's not gonna bark. He knows who that is. Okay. Yeah, I'm live. You had an early night? Early night?
Huh?
I'm live, but you had an early night?
Yeah, I only get to work till 9.
Oh, all right.
So, a little after I come, I get done.
Still windy out there, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so, yeah, you know, everybody got their pursued interests. Okie dokie. Like I say, I'll let this dry, do its thing. Let's get a small, this is actually a hog's hair bristle brush, various sizes. This is actually gifted to me. I got a set of them. So, all right, let's get a little bit of white paint. We'll just put it out here. I don't need really too much of it. I don't intend to go overboard with this, but we're gonna pop them in there at this stage anyway. I'll hold it far away so it can be kind of like that. I'll pop some down here maybe, and maybe a few in here. I don't need it to be overly drastic or whatnot, but I'll put them in. You guys should be able to see that, but that's all I need for that. I don't need no more, because we're gonna put clouds in there. Okay. Jim. All right. As I'm looking at it, and I still got some wet spots, so we'll still let that dry a bit. Okay. All right. And I will take a sip of my coffee. If anybody do have questions, art related questions, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. It would be great if you put them in all caps, that way I can see them, so it doesn't scroll past. Last night when I was on extremely late, because I'm here in the eastern part of the US, so it's 9:39 now. People from other parts of the world where it's daylight, so it will be Dubai, you know, places like England, you know, places like that, early morning. Australia, it's early morning or mid-morning there, so they end up coming in the chat over on Facebook. So it's just a whole different group of people that you see instead of the regular, because nobody's really up that late at night. So it was cool to see some of them again. Some of them actually I remembered, and they remembered me. So, all right. I guess I could glycerin this part. Most of it is dry. most of it's dry, so I can play around with this part. This might be the only time maybe that I'll use this well, no. Well, maybe. It depends on how it goes. We'll see. I'll take the same brush. This is a 3/4 inch brush. I barely use it. No, it isn't. It's a 1 inch brush. It's 1 inch flat. There you go. It's a 1 inch flat. I'll put it down here. And see, I barely use it. Look at that edge. I barely use it, but it's, you know, pretty cool. I'll just use this, put the glycerin on it. Glycerin, vegetable glycerin, for acrylic paint is water soluble, meaning that it rinses off with water like acrylic. It will help the acrylic paint stay wet longer, so you can blend and do all sorts of fun things with it. Okay, hopefully, well, I mean, it's black, so it's not going to really matter, but I'll put a very light coating of glycerin on this. Glycerin is also very reflective, so keep that in mind if you choose to go this route. It is quite reflective. A very little bit goes a long way, trust me. Okay. I do have a moon here, that's why it's taped. So I will get some expressive cloud play going. It is a nighttime scene, so we're gonna play with cool colors to keep the atmosphere of darkness going. Alrighty. Glycerin, vegetable glycerin. The paint sits on top of it, and when it starts to dry, it expands the paint so it spreads. So even though you might start to see streaks, it won't end up being streaks. Hey Bruce, what's going on? How you doing, boss? Yes, 7 people in. At least I'm reading 7. Yes, if you can hit that thumbs up or thumbs down, I would appreciate it, even if it's thumbs down. That would be just so grand. Vegetable glycerin and water, not a good mix when it comes to your painting, because water will wipe this stuff off like a hot knife through butter. Just a heads up on that. Okay. Alrighty. Let's I'll get some little softy brush here. It's a fan brush, really soft hairs, really, you know, flimsy type of thing. This poor guy, I think it's the glue starting to come apart on this. Poor fella. Okay. Let's get just a tiny bit of, we'll get some white here. We'll put the white out here. But the smallest, we're gonna tint the white, just the smallest touch of blue in that white. And keep it extremely, we'll get to put the blue tinge in there, but there we go. Something like this. Very light. And we'll just get some airy clouds going on. Now, my glycerin, because it's so warm, it's starting to wear away. Okay, so it should make for some very interesting cloud play. I'll just twist the brush like this. Something like that. Go around the moon a little bit. Come out here. Something like that. All right. I can tell by the way it's acting that the glycerin is starting to go bye-bye. And that's fine, because you can always reactivate the glycerin. So it's all right. And we'll kind of pop some love this way. Just like that. Pop it in there like that. Now it's starting to dry. Okay. And once again, it's all right. Once you know what glycerin can and can't do. It's pretty warm in here. In my room, it's 89 degrees in here, and you know, it's all good. Let me see what it's going to do for me here. We'll kind of play around with the edges. I think it's still movable, so I can use the bigger brush. So that was a little tester right there. So I think I can use this and soften some of that up still. Kind of float these out there a little bit. Just like that. Now remember, this is tinted with a little bit of Yep, see, I can do that. I can wave it around a little bit, float those in there. These don't matter down at the bottom, it's okay. I'll do something different with those, but up here I can kind of mess with this a little bit. It's these edges, I can soften up the edges a little, but we're gonna do something a little special with those, and it's okay. Okay, yeah, down here, don't worry about it. I can kind of scumble those right into the black, see? And I can get away with this because the paint, even though some of the glisten's drying, it's still pretty tacky. So I can kind of, it's almost like dry brushing. I can mellow some of that out back in there. And it's okay. Because remember, these have a blue tint to it. All right. It's going to actually work for me than against me. Okay. All right. We're going to take the same we're going to take a very thin, very tiny filbert brush here. I can probably bring this in a little closer so you guys can see exactly what's going on. Right about here. Should be good. It's still in focus, we're good. Okay, we're going to take a tiny bit of just white. All right, we'll put it right here. And the moon is here, so we'll kind of hit some of that shine right up in there like this. And we're going to do it in a way just like that, just kind of fade it away. We're going to do this a bit at a time, and you're going to keep the shape, the circular shape of the direction of the moon. Get some more white. This is why the white and the blue mix was put on first. So you got residual light here, and you just start getting some of that nice glow all up in here. I'll wipe off my brush and we'll kind of fade some of that into that blue, just like that. Then you just piece it together, just bit by bit. Come up around in here, get some brightness in there, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna get some more titanium white, and these are just little highlights, directional highlights. And I'll kind of play around, put some back here a little bit. And I'll kind of create another one right here. And it kind of slinks over out here. And then I can just kind of scumble all of this, have it disappear. You can be as detailed as you want, or sparse as you want. It's really up to you. Anything bright sticks out, stands out quite a bit. Just like that, and kind of curve it around there and blend it right in. This is why I didn't want to put too many stars. I knew I was going to have some highlights for the clouds in there. Okay. Oh, let's kind of tap a few in here. It's like this. Let's expand that just a little bit right here. I usually like to have a little background noise, so you might hear the TV going back there. I have Wonder Woman 1984 playing, and since I've bought that DVD or / Blu-ray of it, I've been suffering in silence ever since. I am not really a fan of the movie. I did not like it. It had its moments, but overall it sucked. I don't know why what happened, because the first Wonder Woman was magnificent. This thing here is a train wreck. But you know, some of you may really have enjoyed Wonder Woman 1984. Should have stayed in 1984. Let me fade that out. I didn't see this, but it will be okay if I didn't necessarily fade it all out. That's all right. I can actually deal with the moon. I can probably take care of the moon right now, and I might as well. It's not a perfectly round circle. I freehand the moon. Just give a nice little pull. Be careful. I will pull, because if it rips, and it did, if it rips from the inside, going into the inside. So you don't have a complete mess. The rip is right here, but it's all right. I can just usually just tear the thing. So no big deal there. And then that's the end of that. If you don't want to tear it, you take your X-Acto knife and you just cut where you think it's going to go. You pull it, it goes away. So, all right. We're going to color the moon pretty much very similar to the first layer of clouds. We'll give it that really light blue white touch. I'm going to use glycerin instead of water. I'm going to reactivate what I have here. It should still, let's see if it's totally dry, just make some more. Nope, it's totally dry. So I'll just make some more. No big deal. Glycerin, a slight touch of blue, put it in there. We're just going to tint that white just a little bit. But no, it has glycerin in it. Okay, so it's going to be more like a glaze than anything else. So I'm just going to be extremely careful going by that edge, and we're just going to use that glycerin and get a slightly bluish moon happening there. You know, artists that paint moons, me included, we kind of really put those details into the moon because it looks cool, it looks great. I hear my computer doing something kind of special over there, but I'll check into it later. All right, so we got our little bitty moon thing happening there. Looks like the opening of the honeymoon. Yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Let's get a little bit of that glycerin out of there. Get that out of there. Let it dry up. It's funny you mentioned that, Jim. Okay. Since we do have our kind of our moon glow, I can probably put the shading a little bit towards the opposite end, since the light is hitting from here going across it. It's really up to you how you want to do that. All right, I'm gonna use a thicker brush for that. I'll use this 1/2-inch brush, and I'm gonna glaze it, of course. I'll use a tinge of darker blue. I'll put it here with the glaze. Get some more of the glycerin. We'll just glaze this on, and I will use a slight hint of black into that blue just to kind of gray it out just a little bit. And we'll do it gradually. If I don't like it, then I'll just lighten it back up. Okay, so we got this glaze going on here. Okay, and we'll just kind of, now to do this, let's zoom this in. Let's really zoom it in. We're out of focus. It's okay. I'll bring it back. Show you how to do this. Okay, you got your flat edge of the brush there. Okay. Okay, I kind of know where to go with it, and I'll just sketch it out real quick. Flat edge of the brush right there. and you just kind of follow that edge, do a curve, spread it out, spread it out, spread it out, and you come around it in that area right there. Keep it kind of deep toward this edge. Don't worry about going over the lines, because you just wipe that away. It's black. It's okay. That glycerin is still wet. You can softly, I just dried my brush off, and you see how you make that edge disappear? Just like that. Now, I can go darker and darker. I can put on layers and layers and layers and layers doing that. All right. Let's take a soft brush for 1 second. I'll bring out some paint here. I'll just tap the bristles. And this is nothing but a makeup brush. And I'll kind of pop some little pop marks in. This is the fun stuff about, you know, you paint the moon or whatever. So we got some dark things going on here. We'll let it dry a little bit. Now it's on that glycerin, so it's going to maintain its wetness for a little bit. Okay. Okay, I'll go into a little titanium white. I'll put it right where I got the glazed up blue. I'll just make it a little bit brighter. And we do the same thing on the opposite end. We'll just kind of brighten that up again. Put some in there. It's like you're playing a little bit of tag with this. Okay, and it's okay. Once it dries, we'll put a little more black with that blue, and we will establish a stronger shadow line. So don't worry about that. Okay, we're gonna let that dry a little bit. Just rinse this off real fast. The tear will give texture. Yeah, it will. But you'll never know the tear's there. If it's a deep enough tear, yeah, you can use it for you, well, rather than against you, if that happens. Sure. We're gonna let that dry. Let's peel this apart. Very slowly. You pull with your lift and you go into the mountain, so you're pulling downward. Okay, don't rush it. Please don't rush this. All right, there we go. You got a little, is that a tear? Yeah, you got a little tear here going in the opposite direction. All right, I'm not really too worried about it, because even if you paint over that, the paint's going to dry and seal it back anyway, so it's no big deal. All right, okay. Now remember, we're going to be working with more or less cool colors, but I do have a solid black background. Hey, Pittsburgh, how are you? I'm glad you're here. I see that you're running. I don't know. Looks like you're running forest videos and I don't know what you're doing. Oceans and waves and sunsets and all sorts of things you got going on over there. Inquiring minds want to know. Oh, Jen. Hey, Jen, how are you? So, when I did the tape, I just sketched out the mountain silhouette real fast. That's it. These mountains are going to be in the back. They're going to be fairly dark, and I'm going to do it. I got this camera. Depending if you're looking at me on the computer or on the phone, but I'm going to do it with the flat brush, the 1/2 inch flat here. Those who can't see it on that screen will see it here. Okay. All right, let's pull back. Because I got you guys looking at the moon when I did the silhouette. There we go. So I just pulled back the tape. I think let's put it in a little bit past there. Okay, put it in focus there for you. All right. So we have a silhouette here. Okay. That's basically all you need here. Okay. Yeah, I realized that, Bruce. It was my bad. So we're going to just use cool colors for this. And it's going to set this the mountain range back until some of this background back here. All right. Okie dokie. Let's get a little bit of this ultramarine blue. We'll do the ultramarine blue first. It doesn't matter if I put it over this white because the white's already dry. Acrylic paint dries in seconds, especially if you don't use any medium with it. I don't necessarily need to use any medium with what I'm doing right now. I'm adding black into this blue. Okay. If I must go darker, I will. We're going to add details to the mountains, but they're just going to be in reverse. It's just using a whole lot of cool colors. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more black because I really want the mountain range back there to be a little more subdued. It will never be truly black because of the blue in it. All right. If I have to use glycerin for it, I will. It just adds to the texture of what's going to be coming going forward. And I'll probably use glycerin in it, in the paint itself, just to keep it moist a little longer. Usually when I'm talking to everybody and painting, my videos tend to go a wee bit long. If I was doing this by myself with the cameras off, it probably would have been done already. Okay. It doesn't really matter what direction I start from. Oh, let me show you something here. The range is in the back. Now remember, we're going to have a large cliff here. So the color won't be expanded too much further down. I'm going to have to keep it at a weird kind of color. Okay, because I didn't color the whole canvas black. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe it will be somewhere around here, something like that, or coming down this way, whatever. But it should be faded somewhere around in this area. Okay, in a perfect world, we'll see what happens. But basically, take it and you just kind of see this. Now remember, it's a different color. You're going to see this even though it's dark. You will see this because it's not solid black. Okay, I probably should have used a little more or added a little more paint, but we'll see. I just get a little more glycerin. I can always mix some more. It's only two colors. You can't really go wrong with the mix. Ultramarine blue and black. That's the colors, you know, so you can't mess that up. Then again, I've been known to tear up even simpler things. Let's make sure that my head isn't in the video. And I just close as possible, just follow basically follow the lines. Doesn't matter out here. It's just getting that silhouette in there. Okay. I'm not worried about the smudges. I'm not worried about streaks. I'm not worried about any of that. Because like I said, we're gonna add texture and all that fun stuff to this fellow. It's gonna get pretty warm here in New York, but it's gonna take its time doing it. We're expected more rain, which is par for the season anyway, so I'm not really, I mean, I was born in this region and I am not surprised about what really happens here. So it's just, you know, another day in paradise for me. I'm just used to it. Okay, and here we go. We're just gonna continue on. Now that's much darker. It doesn't have the heavy blue in it, so I'm gonna correct that. I'll just add more blue and go to another spot. Okay, everything can be corrected. So that, you know, it's a little dark. It's all right. Then again, I also added more glycerin too, which brought out the blue. So I'll do the same thing here. Because if I have more blue, like it's, there we go, that's a little bit closer. I can take this, I can move that around. Don't worry about it. Hashtag, don't panic. It's okay. It is okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. you're okay. Trust me, you're blocking stuff in, so don't worry about that. It's all right. I can kind of manipulate all of this because the paint is still very wet. So, if you can manipulate this stuff to make it look like mountain texture as you're doing it. I'm not particularly concerned about it. My concern right now is really just blocking all of this in. That's all. And because this is a lighter variation of the dark background, you can actually paint over it and it's okay. Once it dries, you're not going to tell anyway, because it's a lighter variant of what you previously put down. Okay, so worry not. My main concern really is just blocking all of this stuff in. And you can pretty much smooth it out to whatever you want. Alright. Okay. So I pretty much got how much of it I really want to be mountain. All the rest can be lightened and faded out of there. And I'll show you how that's going to be done. Don't worry about the streaks. It's okay. It's alright. It's alright. Hashtag don't panic. Okay. When it gets to like fading this stuff out, I can either use a little more glycerin, just glycerin. I got color on the brush, but I can just use more glycerin. Go slightly below. That's a little too much glycerin. That's all right. If it drips, don't worry about it. Just do like one of those numbers. It's not going to kill you. There we go. We just kind of fade that color. Just one of those numbers. It's all right. Do little X strokes there. Just fade it. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Be easy, baby. Be easy. Just fade it in there. Then just let it happen, Captain. It's all right. It's just glycerin. It's moving that paint around, activating the paint. It's okay. Because remember, I have no black anywhere else. Okay. So once again, be easy. It's okay. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Keep blending. Just keep blending. X strokes. It's all right. All of this is adding to all that mountain texture anyway. So it's actually working for you, not against you. It's okay. It is all right. You're good. You're all right. You're fine. Just like that. Okay. Okay. We're going to get what do they call it? The strawberry moon, full moon. Right now, it's just a regular full moon out there. You can see it quite clearly out tonight. Looks pretty cool. But tomorrow it's going to be strawberry red. Now, if you notice, because of all the streak marks, it's starting to take that shape of some craggy mountains anyway. Okay, but we're going to play with that a little bit more. All right. Okay, we've got this dark color here, either or, but it's got the glycerin in it. I want that darkness, but I don't want the glycerin. We need dry paint. Okay, dry paint. We need paint without the glycerin. Dry paint. That's like saying a vegetarian lion. Dry paint. Trust me, I will get total control of the English language by the time this video is over. Please forgive any grammatical errors. Dry paint. All right. Get rid of the glycerin paint. Let's go back to our ultramarine blue. Let's get a little bit of black and put it in there. We'll darken it up. We'll just do the dark half. The light half will come later. Yes, I'm going to texture it with the brush. I'm not going to use the palette knife for this. We'll just use the flat brush. No glycerin, just the paint itself. And what I'm going to do to add that texture anybody can do this. This is a technique. Is that we're going to use the flat of the brush. I'll show it to you since we got the screen a little closer here. We use the flat, and you can see that. We use the flat side of the brush, the flat, not the edge. The flat side of the brush. And very lightly. Now remember, the light's coming from this side, hitting in that area. So you're going to get a nice, interesting lit parts here up on top, the edge. And it's going to snake over a little bit. But all of the darkness is going to be behind this guy. So we take it now, whatever direction you want your mountain, that's really up to you. Okay. It's going to need to be a little thicker because the glycerin is wet. All right, still kind of moist there. And we'll just kind of pat that in there. Now, the glycerin is moving around in there, and that's fine. I'll manipulate it. I'll do what I need to do. What I have to do now, because it's wet, I need thicker paint, which is why I use the heavier body paint. So we need more paint so it can leave a pattern and kind of overpower that glycerin. So that's the issue we're running into, and that's fine. That's okay. And once again, we just kind of see. I'm using the dark or the flat edge, and I'm getting interesting little pockets of black going on in there. Okay. And I'm coming up in here. Let it break. Let it do all of that stuff. You don't want super detailed stuff going on. It's going to be in the background back there. We're going to smooth all of this stuff down here. We're going to smooth all that out. I'm not worried about that. I'm going with the inside of the mountain and getting those textures going. Okay. When you attack a mountain, when you do mountains, all right, don't be so overly cautious. You want general shapes, especially with mountains that's not going to really produce a whole lot of detail. The detail will come in the markings that you're leaving behind. And remember, let it dry a little bit. You'll see. Okay. I'm going to come back here a little bit. I'm building all of this up because I already know what it's going to look like when I'm finished. See, I'm doing the reverse. I'm doing the dark first. The light parts are going to come later. And I'm not going to highlight it with white. It will be really a very light blue, but it's going to give the impression of it being, yes, I'm bringing it down here. It's going to give the impression of being white because it's surrounded by all that dark. The reason why I'm going down below here is because I get the chance to fade all of this in. All right, you'll see. There's a method to my madness. Hashtag don't panic. It's a good thing that I stopped and read everything you just mentioned there, Jen. Because, you know, if I went what I have seen, it read like I can't, I'm looking forward to our beaches filling in with cats. I'm like, Jen, lay off the meds, go take a nap. I'm waiting for beaches to fill in with cats. Okay, let's take a flat brush, any brush really. And I'm just gonna kind of give it a nice little tap here. I can actually use this brush really, because it's a heavier bristled brush. And I'm just tapping, as you can see. Okay, and very lightly, I'll kind of lightly scumble some of that a little bit, just to smooth it out a little. I'm not pressing hard. Don't do that. Be very gentle. Okay, this is the nighttime scene. You're not going to see extreme details. All right, this is also creative license, but I'm smoothing it out a little bit. Down here on the bottom, you can kind of really press it, put it in there on the very bottom, on the very, very bottom here. As you guys can see, it doesn't take to get Bruce started. Catfish. Catfish. Don't take much. Doesn't take much. Okay. So you see we got our texture thing happening here. Okay. I'm gonna do something with that patch there because it's bothering me. Let's work with that patch a little bit. A little bit of white. I'm using this side of it, just kind of scumble that a little bit, smooth that out because it's bugging me. Okay, let's deal with the actually, here, let me show you something, guys. I do have the color here. That glycerin and water, I think it's water. Just use a little glycerin. Let's activate that a little bit. Hopefully I'm not too late. And yeah, I'm too late because it was with water. No problem. Let's get some more blue. A little touch of black in that blue. What makes it in real good. It's got glycerin all in it. Okay, back to this moon here because it's dry. So we'll just take it and right here at the edge, like that, right? I just dried my brush off. Wear that right away. Look at that. See, you get that? Now, if you don't quite see that, I can add just a touch more black to it. Just get it darker because everything works in layers. Okay. So I have a little more black, little touch of glycerin, very little, and we just darken it a little more. Just like that. I'm wiping off my brush, and once again, very lightly, you just destroy that. Blend it right out. Blend it right out, just like that. You just let it dry. You go keep working with that. I see the edge. Blend that edge out. Blend it out. Get rid of it. There. All right. Oh, we have plenty of cattails. So I got a small filbert here. We'll just stick with the filbert. Like I said, we'll do this mountain with a brush. So here's white right here. Small touch of blue. Just contaminate that white just a little bit, just a little. Okay, so now the titanium white has turned into a very nice sky blue. And we'll use this as our detail stuff. No glycerin or anything. Okay, so we have our directions from the moon itself, from the brightness of the clouds here. We know where the light's going to hit at. So we have our little fun. We kind of get a nice thin little line of white in there. We'll kind of touch a little bit up in here a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna get some more because this stuff does dry very fast. We'll kind of tap in some love in there like that. You don't need much, just a little touch. Okay, pop some in here in that corner there. Right back here we'll get some kind of residual stuff escaping over here, just like that. Some real thin stuff. I can take the rest now. You see the side of the brush? Watch this. Just the side of the brush. Come on down in here. Add little contours of stuff going on in there. All right, maybe a little something in there. Just like that. Leave it be. Don't touch it anymore. Go to the next part. All right, very simple to get this effect. Light touch, very light. Just need a little bit going on in there. Turn the brush over. Just a little bit. Bring some of that down there. Get a little more white, put it in there. Slight touch of blue, put it in there. Tint the white. It has to be tinted. Don't use total white. Tint the color. We'll go do it again and get a little like that. Come on in here. Have something traveling down like that a little bit. We'll kind of liven this spot up a little like this. Just like that. I'm gonna keep this one in the back there. So you're really building your own typography. Just that easy. Here, up here, maybe we can open up some color there. Just like that, in a circular motion. All right. Like the letter U. Like that. All right. Let's see, let's get some more white here. Contaminate it with that blue, just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not in the way. And we're gonna come here to the edge. A little touch. You don't have to do the whole thing. Okay. And maybe a little something here. I'll use my finger. Like that. And maybe a little bit of love up in that area. I'm gonna take the brush, I'm gonna wipe that off. And we'll kind of fade it over. Just like that. Believe it or not, I don't have to really add much more to that than what you see right here. That's all we need. Okay, I don't need any residual stuff going here. All right, so it's directly hitting all up in here. Okay, it's dark over there. We sleep under the stars. Boy, I haven't been camping like that since I was a child. All right, so we've did that part. We've messed around with some of this back here. I want to do something with this because I like the brightness, but it's a little too powerful. So let's take the 1-inch brush and we're going to take some glycerin and we're going to have some fun with the clouds here. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the glycerin. Okay, I'm going to put it right in here in this blue black. It might not work, you know, but it's not. That's okay. Get a little bit of blue, put it in all that glycerin. A little more blue. See, glycerin makes your paint transparent. Follow me. Okay. Now you might not see it because I put it on top of this mess. Okay. I think I'm gonna get away with this because it's still got residual black in it. So let's just get away with that. Let's see what it does. Okay, look up here. I like it, but it's too bright. And you guys gonna have to hold on for a second because my pastor's calling me. Hold on one second. Hello? Oh, I just hung up on the pastor. That's not cool, huh? Nope, there he is. Yeah, no, I just hung up on him again. What am I doing? It's on Bluetooth. It shouldn't be on Bluetooth. Hello?
Hello?
I'm so sorry. How you doing, sir?
Good, Brother Gray. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How can I help you? Because you had given me a ring. Uh-oh.
No, I was sitting here watching Jimmy Swaggart. I saw my phone ring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I thought you rang me because I'm looking at it because I'm doing a live. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, the pastor's there. Okay.
No, but that's what it came up on here. Might have been me hit it by accident.
It probably because I sure didn't do it.
I didn't have nothing going on.
Okay, sir.
All right, then.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
You too. Now that was funny because I'm talking to you on a live, and all of a sudden his number pops up and it's ringing. What on earth is this? No. Oh. Wow, that was a short one. Hold on, guys. Let me shut the phone off. Okay, that was weird. All right, that was funny. Free range popcorn. Okay, what is Jen stirring up here? Free range popcorn. That's dangerous ground. Okay, we got a little bit of blue. Incredible. Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing. I was wondering. I was wondering what's going on with you. It's kind of how late.
A whole lot of stuff that happened.
Well, hold on. I am doing a live as I'm talking to you right now. How late? Wait. How late are you going to be up? It's
For another hour.
Another hour. That would be 11:30. Okay, I should be.
Call me tomorrow then.
Oh, okay. What would be a good time?
Around now, about 10 something.
About 10 something. All right. What am I doing? Okay, yeah, I should be available to do that. That's cool.
Tomorrow's Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That'll work.
Okay.
All right. Bye bye. Okay. Yeah, that's how my life goes from time to time. That's funny. Okay. Back into our black and our blue and our glycerin. Most of this is dry, but for me it's too bright. Now remember, we have a black background, so we can get away with this. All right, so with the 1-inch brush, we're just gonna kind of see this. Look, we're just gonna subdue those clouds a little bit. See that? With that black. Now, keep in mind, glycerin will dry. Okay, and it makes paint transparent. But now we just turned white into blue-black. But it's just a glaze. We're glazing over what was just a wee bit too bright. But see now how everything is set back? Okay. So the only real bright spot now that hasn't been touched by the glaze is the moon itself. And we're going to keep the moon like that. Okay. Oh, we got some interesting chat going on here. Oh, Pittsburgh, I'm just popular just for that moment. I think the pastor was watching the game and his thumb hit my number. So, and the other person I haven't heard from in almost a month, and they decided, but they usually call about this time, and because I'm not usually painting this late, so you know, it's all good. Oh, see, look, man, Foster just threw me under the Barker Lounger bus. Wow, I'm crushed. Oh man, I need more coffee. It is that's what I'm telling y'all that it is coffee. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we darkened in all of this. We'll get back into playing with this a little bit later. Okay, so we've established the mountain area here. Okay, I just had an idea because I seen something that will look really cool, and I'm going to do it. Let me show you something else. I did a video on glazing and what you can do. A great shadow color and a great glaze color is blue and black. Okay, it's not all blue, it's not all black. But I'm going to get some glycerin here. Okay. I'm going to add a little more black to it. Now remember, glycerin will make your paint Not darker, not lighter, but just transparent. It thins it out, okay? All right, as I'm looking at this and I was talking to you guys, I noticed I like the shadow it's curving around, okay, right in here. And so I'll just take that glaze and I'll just kind of create a nice little curve right in there, that blue black right in there, just kind of curve it. Doesn't matter all in here. I can just take my hand, I can rub that out, fade that, that's okay. But I sure enough like that, like the depth that it's creating in there. And it's just glycerin. If I don't like it, I can wipe it off, you see. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, so I'm adding it. Okay, and once again, you fade it. You can use your hand or whatever, it's all right. I'll just use it back here on the bottom. Just on the bottom back here, just put it in there and just kind of, you don't have to press too hard. But I see now what it turns into. See this? All right, all of that will work for you. And once again, you just clean off your brush, and glycerin comes right off. The black it all comes off. I have a beach towel on my lap. Okay, now I've done now when you do mountains with a brush, you get smoother marks and whatnot. Okay, and it's what I'm looking for anyway, because once again, they're further back. The movie sucks, but it's got its fun points and parts. The movie's like over 2.5 hours long. The whole premise of the movie is crazy. And Kristen Wiig is way too old to be playing some supervillain. She looks like a very angry prune. But that's just my opinion. Look at Sonia's answer. Oh no, it's Bruce's answer. Jim says he's a professional sleeper. Hey, he may have earned that title, so I can't get mad at him. Okay, down here we have a mess. We're gonna clear up the mess a little bit. It's just because of the glycerin. I might not need a ton of glycerin at this stage. Bruce, I decided, and you see it down here, I decided to take the paint off of both of my knives. I spray painted them. But as I keep using the knife, it wears away and then cakes of paint built up on the spray paint. So I just had to clean them and bring them back to their shininess. And in doing so, of course, I did it with an X-Acto knife. And I did this thing that I told people not to do. And I end up kind of missing a little bit and cut my knuckle open. Oops. And I didn't even realize that I did that. But I sure enough did. I cut my knuckle open with it. And nothing too serious. Just cleaned it up and that was that. Alright, we're going to use a little bit of black. We're just going to the blue here. Okay. And we're just going to build a nice little dark base. And this is the larger of the palette knives. And we're going to get our cliff going here. Now the cliff I'll texture with the palette knife. Okay. All right. I'm thinking of something here. Yeah, that would be wise for me to do that. All right. Before I do that, I'm going to apply a very thin coat of glycerin here just to get the paint moving. Okay. The cliff will be strong up around in this area. I'm going to just put it there. I don't know how far up I'm going to go, because what I don't use in glycerin is going to dry up anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I'll go about this far with it. It doesn't matter. And then I'll fade out what I need to fade out. Okay. And we'll go about this far. It should be okay. All right, let's clean this brush off. Like this is a pretty decent brush. Now I got numbers of brushes, brands of brushes. So if I tear one up, and I do have others, but you know, I don't, just because I have many brushes don't mean I just nonchalantly just wreck them. Okay. I can attest to that. Inspired to be up pretty late. She thinks I'm in bed. I'm like, what is she doing up this late? Yeah, insomniac. But I'm the same way, so I can't really talk. Okay, we're gonna do with a cliff. All right. Cliffs, they're not as craggy as this. If they're a little closer, they're a little more flat. Okay. All right. So we'll start. Oh yeah, we'll start maybe somewhere around in here. And I'll just kind of stagger it or whatever. Now glycerin, remember the paint kind of sits on top of the glycerin here. Okay, and I'll bring it back up there like that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, something like that. Don't worry about it. I can borrow some from here. And like I say, cliffs are it's gonna go straight across. Okay, don't worry too much about all of that. We'll get that tightened up there. Okay. You have a good night, Bruce. It's all dark in all of this, or whatever. Bring it down there. It's all right. I just wanted to establish the cliff. Okay. All right. All right, let's just take it. We'll make some more interesting texture stuff. We'll just kind of drag it on down. I've always want my edges to kind of be strong, have strong edges. Okay, I'll just take the paint. I'll just go straight down with it. It'll just travel. It's all right. Let it travel down, just like that. You don't have to make it too even. Up to you. Let's borrow some of that and put it back here. Let's borrow some more. Put it back here a little bit. Let's borrow some of this and put it back there. Go straight down, it doesn't matter. You got light spots, it doesn't matter. You're blocking all of this in. So, once again, hashtag don't panic. You hear me? Do you hear me? I said, do you hear me? Don't panic. You'll be okay. Trust me. You'll be all right. Okay. So we got a little bit of this happening here. All right. All that, it doesn't matter. We're going to fade that out anyway. All right. So we got that blocked out like that. All right, let's take old trusty here. This is a 1.5 inch brush here. Okay, and we're gonna come down here, and I'll just take it, and we do the little circle thing here. All right, and basically I'm taking some of that color and I'm just bringing it all the way down. It's all right. Soften it right up. I'm adding a little pressure to it. It's okay. Everything that I'm doing that I tend to make it look easy. When people want to try this method and try this technique, they're very a little intimidated, and they're a little shy, a little bashful, a little timid about it. Sometimes you're just gonna have to go with it. Okay, you just put on the big boy pants and just let it. Just go. You got to go for what you know, really. Okay. I'm gonna bring. Once again, I'm just gonna get the impression of the cliff going straight down. Okay, I'm just pressing down there a little bit. All right, don't worry about this. As long as it's a little faded down there, we're good. Okay, all right. That was funny. Thank you. Inspired by babies. I wish I can really, because there's a few people who watch this and they may look at the chat, right? And YouTube was cool because you could click on their name and you can go visit their channel, whatever, because of the, I think the growth streams or whatever they're called. They kind of abuse that privilege. And now if you click on their name, it may give you a choice to block them or report them. I'm like, what? But you just have to pretty much just type in her name in the search and go there and see what she's all about. Incredible stuff that she does. Very talented. So go there and give her a peek, please. Okay, we're going to work with the Cliff. We're going to work with a palette knife. The palette knife that I did use, I just used a little large, so we used a smaller one here. Like I said, I'm looking at this at a 40-inch screen. You guys might be looking at this from your phone or whatnot. So once again, I cleaned it off. Okay. All right. SpongeBob isn't here tonight, but I do see a Kmart eagle. Nah, no eagle in this one tonight. Kmart eagle was last night, but he had his place in the sun last night. As you can see, I'll spread it right out real thin. Okay, I will get a line across. It's like that. It covers it, as you can see, through the glare. All right. Okay, once again, it's a cliff, so doing it this way will be relatively easy. You're just going straight down. Yeah, I think I got the textured side of the paper. Once again, it's pretty warm in here. It's like 89 degrees. So the glycerin is there, but it's not, because it's drying up, but it makes it tacky. So we got a little bit of tooth there. Okay. Yeah, those eagles are the Kmart special eagles, really. And so let's just build texture on yonder cliff here. And I'm gonna do the dark texture with obviously the same paint that I've used here. It's the black and the blue mix. Okay. And what I do is I'll just take the knife. As you see, I'm not pressing on the knife like this. All right, because when you tend to press, I'm gonna exaggerate it. You tend to kind of bend. You put extra pressure on it. You're not icing a cake. All right. So you do one of these numbers here. Okay. Kind of stir it like a car, but we're doing a Thelma Louise, so we're going right off the cliff. Okay. Yes, I did use that reference. Don't judge me. And we just take it and we go see this, and just let it break like that. Let it break. Let it happen, Captain. Okay. And we come around and we kind of do the other side and just, let it do what it do. Okay. And that's all. I kind of know where I want it to be quite dark at. And I'm just going to, like I say, let things do what it do for right now. All right. When I add the lighter stuff, then we'll have our good time with it. This should have been lighter, but it's okay. I'll bring it here. It's all right. We'll straighten all that out when we get to the lighter areas. All right, so it's no big deal. I'll just do the whole thing. Like I say, it's a cliff face, so everything's kind of flat, kind of craggy, just like that. What's making these break like that is that you're holding the knife almost parallel to the paper itself. So if this is the paper, instead of doing one of these numbers, you're bringing the knife downward. Okay, but you can only go so far because of the lip here. Okay, but with the little layer of paint, and when it pulls across, it just, it breaks. It catches whatever is laid on the paper itself, and plus it's catching the texture of the paper. So this is why you're getting that effect. Okay, Bill Nye Science Guy, it's over. We go back to painting and having fun. You guys don't want to hear all of that. And as I'm doing this, and as you see me doing this, I got little, as I'm looking at the texture form. I got little ideas and such going on in my little pea brain of how to light things and all of that. So yeah, when I'm by myself and I'm painting, let's say for instance something like this, the painting goes by way faster than what I'm doing now. It's just I'm talking and instructing for right now, so my videos tend to go a little long. I haven't really heard too many complaints about it yet. I mean, when you get tired of looking at me drone on, you just shut it off and go to sleep, or I end up putting you to sleep. A little bit of blue in the black, mix it in there. Spread it out pretty thin, like that. Spread it right across. Okay, get a little swipe across, just like that. Looks like this. And you just keep going. Now as I do it, I'll start tightening up things a little bit here and there. Press. You can stagger it, you can do it to the side, like that. Any pattern or position that you feel comfortable with, do it. Okay, you can, as long as it's straight. See, as long as you're going downward, it's all good. All right. Well, that's because you're in a different mode, Jen. You are now an instructor, and you know, they're really literally hanging on your word to achieve the effect that you have, making your babies, the dolls there. So yeah, you would tend to go a little slower because you want them to learn, you want them to catch it, and you know, you're passing on what you know to others, and that's how we learn. Okay, pretty cool, pretty neat, pretty okay. We're moving on. All right, so I got a little bit of titanium white into the very same color, which is obviously going to turn obviously gray. Okay, and obviously there's different tones and shades and values of gray. We all know that. Okay, so that's, you know, more or less the brighter part. I don't know how much of this I'll get away with using. Once again, the brightness of the sun, the angle. Now you can create what's the bright side, what's not the not so bright side. Truly up to you. All right, so obviously, let me do this first. Obviously the top is going to catch some of that love. All right, because it's the rim. I'm going to go darker though. But let's go with what I might consider be the side where the light is hitting off of. Now we already have texture here. Okay, some of the thicker paint isn't dry yet totally, but that's okay because you're just going to lightly graze over the texture that's already been applied. All right, so once again, very lightly. Now you're the foreman, you just tell the knife where to go. The knife does the work. You just, you know, there you go. See, you just guiding that guy just like that, wherever that light you feel is hitting there, just like that. Okay dokie, okie dokie. Get a little bit more. Okay, we have some residual light here. We'll just kind of pop it on the top there and just leave it there. Right, no biggie. Up around in here, we'll get some kind of stuff happening up in here like that. Come on down. As you see, it's lighter color, but it's not really crazy bright. Doesn't necessarily have to be. And we'll pop a few bits up in here like that. I need some more because I ran out. A little touch of white, a little rest of this color here, just mix it in there just like that. All right, give it a little swipe across. There's a little bit of love up in here. a little bit of something up in this corner, come down a little bit like that. No big deal. Okay. I got some of this gray here left. Well, let's use plenty of white, kind of lighten it up. I don't want it to be super bright. As long as we've got that gray in there, I can add as much white. It's still going to be contaminated with a little bit of that gray. It's just going to be a brighter value of that gray like that. But because of such dark colors going around, it's going to appear white, but it's not truly white. A little bit of that love there, a little bit of that there. And you judge where you want to put that. Okay. It's all really up to you. And if you notice, it's being picked up by the texture already placed by the previous paint. So you're really just kind of glazing over what you've previously done. That is all. I am running out of black paint. Brighten that up a little bit. No glycerin or anything. This is just the paint itself. So once I do this and spread it out, I got a short window. Okay, because it will dry on you. So usually with acrylic, you kind of you tend to paint kind of briskly. I really don't need too much of this color, to be honest with you. Not really too much. Oh, a little sample of something here, maybe toward this area right in there. But the rest really is just a cute little touch. It's like that. Okay. Now I can take total titanium white. We'll flatten that out right here. The brightest color you need the least of, and I'm going to hit the edge, much like I did with the mountains behind us, but this one gets a little more of the bright white because it's a little closer to us. You can get away with putting a little bit of just pure white up in here. Just a little bit. You don't want it to really look like snow, so just a little touch. A little bit in there. I don't really have to emphasize too much over there on that side. All right, just like that. Let's clear this stuff right off. It's still wet. I can still just scrape it off really. Wipe it on the towel. Okay. So hoping I'm not boring you guys to death too much. Let us now get a little touch of titanium, just a little touch. I'll just drag it out here, show you what I'm doing here. Just a little touch. And down here, I'll just kind of clear a fog out path here for the rotunda. I bet you guys thought I didn't I forgot about that rotunda. I didn't forget. Okay, just a little bit of mist, whatever, because believe it or not, we're working with aerial perspective. Okay, we're working with aerial perspective because we have to have something in the foreground. Whatever's in the foreground now is super dark. It's black almost. All right, because now you got to give a real sense of perspective, because not only am I doing the little rotunda out there, but I got to add my representation of human beings on this. Once again, just to give this whole thing a sense of scale. All right. Okay. So we let that dry up a little bit. Pittsburgh, thank you very much for checking in. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know it's a little bit late. Some people do got jobs, you know, so I do understand. I am not bothered by the least. Tomorrow evening, I have a pre-made video, and I did a cabin, and actually last week was perspective, and I shown how to draw a cabin using perspective, and it was a black and white picture. Okay, this week it was a two-parter, so this week, tomorrow, at 7 p.m. it's me painting the cabin and its surroundings. So you stick for that. Stick around for that one for tomorrow. It's pretty cool. A buddy of mine asked me about it, or he inquired how you do it. So I did that for him. Okay, rotunda. Let's put this way up here. And before I get to it, I have to take a break because I drink way too much coffee. So excuse me for 1 second or two. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and I thank you for your patience. Put this up here. Alright, rotunda. We're going to sketch this out. This is going to be very impressionistic. What is a rotunda? Okay, let's just say it's a large outdoor deck. All right. Sometimes they have a cap on them or top. Sometimes they don't. It's an open deck. Okay, and this one here is an oval. Okay, so it will be placed here in an oval, right around in here, like that. I don't really want it centered, so it will start here, come out, flatten out, and slowly curve again. All right, so I really didn't want it in the center. I want it either more to the right or more to the left. I could probably get away with it coming this way, and it just flattens out, and it curves, sort of, kind of curves in, but I'm going to guide that with the poles and stuff. So it's a very haven't really painted. It's like a round pier. Okay, you know how you get that little perspective shot of a pier? So instead of it being rectangular shaped, okay, it's just an oval. That's all. So I'm drawing a piece / part of an oval for the rotunda. I ran out of black. Gotta slap some more black in there. So actually, let me show you something, because obviously the black is done here. I don't need too much of it, but I'll use the craft paint black for this one. I truly don't need too much of this stuff, but it does pour out. I'll use the smallest amount here. I'll just let it slowly just drip on there. I don't need too much. That should be fine. What I got right there should be a-okay. Now, using a jug, obviously you got the residual paint that goes on the threads, but you know, acrylic paint hardens, and we all know what happens with acrylic paint when it hardens on the jug, right? On the lid. It's just a pure nightmare. So I get rid of that, seal it up. I don't totally tighten the jug because of that reason. All right, so we have the apple barrel paint here. Once again, very impressionistic for the rotunda here, or you know, the deck up there. I'll just use the black. If you're a little nervous about drawing in black paint, don't do it in pencil. Okay. All right, I'm doing the bottom part of this deck where the people will be standing. All right, so it's right about here, and I'll give that little curve, just like that. All right, and then we're gonna do a part of curve. Come on, right around in here somewhere, like that. That's the bottom part. Okay. All right, let's clean this off. Represent it as the bottom part. Let's take a ½ inch. Let's take some black. We'll put it right here. Take a little bit of white. We'll pop it in there a little more than that. Just a little touch of white there. All right, something like so. Maybe a little bit of blue in there. So we got some blue-gray happening. Okay. I'll just pop it in there like this for right now. I think I might have to, well, we'll see before I really don't want to add glycerin to this. So maybe I made enough so I can just block this in. I might have. We'll see. Maybe not. I think I got enough here. And the only reason why I'm putting this in here is, once again, just a sense of scale. Because I could have left the painting alone as it is, but there's no real true sense of scale. Not even the moon. Okay. I'm really playing it close. But I should be able to scumble the rest of it in there. I'm trying. Okay. We still don't have a sense of scale yet because there's no perspective to this. But there will be. All right. When you're painting something like this, you actually have to paint the deck first. The people go in last. Paint the deck first. Okay. All right. Let's zoom in. Let's put it right here. Okay. I could probably use this smaller brush. I'll point it to you here. I could probably use this filbert. All right. Let's get some black here. We'll just keep it right here. I might just use just a regular black. I'll put it in here with a little bit of gray. And we're going to build just a little bit of a lip. Let's start the lip here. Remember, everything's in scale, so I got to be careful how I place this lip. The lip will be in perspective. Believe it or not, this little bit of lip will be in perspective. We draw it thick here in the corners, right here. Okay. Do the same thing here, just a little thicker here. I'll just kind of do it this way first. All right. I'm just getting a little more black because this is the inside of that lip there. And then I'll just take it. I'll just draw pretty much coming over. Now I'm using pure paint. I'll add a little water to the paint, loosen it up, because the paint will grab the texture of the paper and everything. So the paint's gonna grab. So I need the paint to be a little more lucid than what it is. Make sure I'm not physically in the way. And we're gonna come here, very thin little lip of dark. Come on around. I'm moving my whole arm. I'm not moving my wrist. Follow me. And as I'm doing this, then it gets thicker and thicker and thicker toward the edge, like that. See that? So thinner here, but I'll exaggerate it a little bit more. It's a little thicker here, and then it thins out. Okay, we're gonna come here, we're gonna do it again. The reason why you got that part wearing away is because it's got more water than anything. Come back, and we're gonna do it again, thicken it right up, boom. Just like that. That's just the inside wall. It's almost like you're building a curb. Okay. Like so. All right. Show you something else here now. Just to give the impression of this guy. I'll stick with the filbert for this. Okay. Hold on. Okie dokie. Let me show you something. Let me put this phone away. I don't need the phone. I'll put the phone over here. Just a little bit after 11 o'clock here. Okay, I'll just stick using the filbert brush here. I'm going into the paint, the black paint here. Did everybody stop talking? Yeah, Marilyn was the last person that said anything. Okay. Thinking about the overall height of it now. Now you really got to think in perspective of the gate, or the barrier. All right, so nobody tumbles over. So you think about the height. And the way I have it here, because of its ovalness, I can actually get away with going to the edge and bringing it in, and then it levels. It's on a little bit of a straight line, then it levels out and goes outward again. So even though you got this shape going this way, your gate is going this way, like a smile, a very wide smile, which now gives you the impression of you're standing on this, going over the precipice to look at what you're looking at here. Okay? All right. So now I just kind of judge pretty much where I want the thing. And the height on the furthest edge is going to determine your scale for the rest of the painting. All right. So, you know, you can have it that high. Okay. Or you can have it that small. The smaller you have it, the bigger the painting. The larger you have it, the closer it appears. Okay. So you just make a judgment of how high you want it. All right. Okay. And I'll put the dot right about here. That's the lowest point right there. Now remember, it's going to appear to look like a smile, though a wide one. You got me? All right. So if I got its lowest point here, okay, I'll start to bring the curve in. It's gonna get crooked on me here. In right about there. Right about there, okay. It's okay. I'll just make this thicker and bring it in. I just gotta be careful. I'm mindful to how I'm doing this with you guys watching. This is mostly dry. I'm all right. Something like that. Okay. Now remember, we got ourselves a. This is the middle. Let's get us a small touch of water here. Loosen up the paint just a little bit. Okay. So we got this small. We got a little line. We got a little leeway of a straight line. Little leeway of a straight line. Okay. And as we got that straight line, remember, it's going to start to curve again. Now, I can eyeball it and pretty much see where I'm at. I'm right here. I'm on the tape now. So we're right there. All right, because you're higher than your lowest point. Okay. So I can just actually come here and I get it pretty thick here. And we're going to come, actually aim it downward, aim it downward, aim it downward, aim it downward. And need more water. This is acrylic paint. It will dry in a hot minute. So I'm just getting a little water added to the craft paint. And we'll aim this downward. Yeah, I'm not in the way, okay. Aim it downward, aim it downward. Come on, aim downward, aim downward, aim downward. Come this way, aim downward, just like so. I'll put a little curve to this one. And I'll thin it out here. I can get rid of that, that's no big deal. Let me put it there we are. Okay. I'm looking at it. I can start straightening things out a little bit. My brush got a little bit of water on it. I can just wear some of that away, straighten it out. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. Okay. Now that I've got a little bit of that established, okay, let's take a wider brush. I'm gonna smoke that a little bit, just a little bit. I'll take a little tinge of blue. We're gonna go into the white area, just like this. Get some white, put it in there with that blue, right? A little bit of black, put it right in there. Let's get some more blue right in here, just like this. Now, I've got this color here, okay? I'm going into my glycerin, quite a bit of it. I'm gonna go here. And now I got the color on my brush, but it's glycerin. Okay, more glycerin than paint. See that? Make sure you get yourself plenty. And so, give the impression of a little bit of glass. We're just gonna kind of get that little tint going there. See that? It's more glycerin than paint, so you're not really going too crazy. I actually need more glycerin, and I need some more of this paint. Bring it, put it right in there. Okay, and once again, just go about your biz. See, but now remember, this is glycerin, so and it will dry, but it's transparent. Okay, put it right here on the edge here. Put it right in there. This is the advantages of doing glazing. Okay. All right, and put it right there in the middle. Put it right in there. You'll still see your glass. You'll still see your textures. You'll still see the cliff. You'll still see all of that. There we go, just like that. Okay, I can use either the filbert or the straight brush to what I'm going to do next. Very simple. Remember, we're working with perspective here. Okay, so we're going to put our little brackets in there. Do it as straight as possible. Let's get a nice wide one right in there like this. All right. If you want, you can add a little notch or something up there. Okay. Just like that. Do it as straight as possible. Your widest ones will be the ones closest to you. I'm painting crooked, so it's kind of growing on me. It's okay. All right, well, there's one there. Go on the other side. You got another one. Put it close to its edge here. All right, have it go, straight down or whatever. Right here, you got another wide one right here. All right, it's okay. Just like that. I don't necessarily want one dead center. Oh, you're seeing it now, are you, Marilyn? We'll put a nice line, boop, right there. Let's get a little space, put one in there, boop, like that. All right. They get a little longer now. Come here. A little longer. Yeah, a little bigger. A little longer, a little larger. See that? Okay. See what it looks like now? There's a method to my madness. A lot of people don't see me paint stuff like this. It's because I can paint anything I want. If the interest is there, then I'll paint more of them. Okay, a little longer, a little wider, right here. Just like that. Get away with another one, a little wider, right here. Okay, and since I got that one there, like that, I'll make this one a little taller, a little wider. Just like that. All right. Everything's about perspective. You follow me? Okay. Okay. Let's take, we'll take a little touch of white. I never cleaned off the gray or the black off the brush. Doesn't matter at this point. And I will add a little bit of little white like that in there. Only on one side, like so. Then it gets to just slight touches as you go further away. Sometimes it's just a touch, like so. That was too much. You get mistakes like that. Don't worry, hashtag don't panic. It's only black and white. If you make an error, like I just did, it's okay. Bring it back. Just like so. Bring it back. Wipe that away. It's all right. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, you go back to it, put a couple touches there, you're good as gold. If you notice, I'm still continuously on one side, and I'm gonna keep it like that, red on one side. There, just like that. Okay, all right. Thank you, Jen, appreciate it. I'll do it with that. I'll just use a liner brush. It's not a script liner, it's just a regular liner brush. When I do detail work, it involves whatever color. I'll just use water in the liner brush. Or script liner, really. I'll just use water, get the ink at the paint at an inky consistency. It's like painting silver linings on a cloud. And you're just gonna frame. Here, if I'll show you. You're just gonna frame that top. Put a little curve, just like that. You don't even have to complete the curve, just like that. Get some more. The brighter you have it, the better. I don't have to necessarily paint everything, the whole thing, just little pieces of it. Have a little bit of the light just glint off it a little bit. Just like that. I don't have to do the whole thing. Your eye will pretty much do the rest. Okay. When I see that the color's starting to fade just a little bit, I'll get some more, because you just really need more of the actual paint than the water on it. But this is a fine brush. So sometimes when you dilute it with water, you end up going over it a couple times. But it's just part of the process, all right? There. So I believe you guys kind of see what's going on with it. I'm gonna get a little bit more water. Do the same thing for the bottom. Now the bottom can be a little thicker, because remember, it's like that curve thing. So I'll just kind of put a thicker line here, and once again, without even trying, you're adding to the perspective of that whole piece. And you just kind of put the curve back in there. It gets a little thicker here. Hopefully my head is not in the way at this point. I don't think it is, but I'm sure you'll let me know. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got so far. We'll pan the camera back. All right, that's what we're looking at so far. Okay. And we're gonna put our people in there. Like I say, the people will be, it's representational. Hold on for a second, guys. Representation of the people. Okay. And we'll kind of add some of that, and we'll kind of go this way. This is the easy part. Get that little glare of light. See, stuff like that, and just kind of aim it that way. You have some come across, some brighter than others, whatever. But it gives that impression of plexiglass or something. Because not everything has to be just blatant. Just like that. Kind of pop a little something here, a little something here. Brush your hand across real fast. these are just techniques. Hopefully, you know, they help you out. You can do window panes like this. You know, it just happens to be the deck out here. All right. Now, if somebody don't know what you do, Jen, the FBI will be knocking on your door in about 32 minutes. Just look at what you wrote. I'm just saying. That's why I laughed. Then again, they're gonna be knocking on my door too, like, you know, what kind of balloon payments you're taking there, buddy? Yeah, just Jen, we're gonna be on TMZ next week. No, I'm pretty sure they look at my channel pretty closely, and no, I don't think you're gonna get flagged or anything, you know. So no. What's going on, Purple? How are you? DC, the Purple Diesel, how are you doing? Good to see you. See, Jim is always, he's stirring it up. See, Jim's that guy, he gets on his barker lounger, but he's got that kettle on the side, stirring the pot. DC, the Purple Diva, obviously you can't click on her name, but what do they call it, bookmarking? But she does very interesting designs and everything. She knows how to do it very well. Crafter, she's a crafter. So once again, YouTube doesn't make it easy for us. So now you got to spell all that name out and go check out her channel. Let me strengthen some of these here. I don't know why, because there's going to be probably people in front of them. But you know, that's just me. But I think we're good everywhere else. We're good everywhere else. Okay. So I will put weird representations, stylized representations of a crowd of people looking in here. And when you see the way I do it, oh, you know what, Diva? I don't know if I can do this now, because on this tablet it's kind of, wait. Ah, there you go. All right, Diva. Say something and see if that wrench gets there. If that wrench is there, I think you're able to put your link up if that wrench is there. And just put the link up. Oh, inspired by babies. Wait a minute, inspired. I know you didn't ask to be one, but there you go. Okay, inspired. You can slap your link up there too. You should be able to. Yep, okay, yep, you're wrenched up. All right. Inspired, you should be wrenched up over there too. And you can throw your link up there. Yeah, the reason why I'm waiting here is just pretty much resting and just running in my mouth. Let me see how much time elapsed here. 2 hours and 4 minutes. Ooh-wee. Okay. Well, I think some of you guys have been here for a minute, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And like I say, some of you guys got to go to work tomorrow. You know, I can understand if you want to catch the rest when it's done. But when I do things like this, it's just impromptu. Blender on frog legs are kind of tasty. They are good. I haven't had any in a minute. They are nice. Alligators are great too. They taste good. Very flaky alligator. It's very sweet, you know. Yep, Bell's Reborn. There you go. Yep, guys, check them out. Really. And for those of you who are watching the replay, and you'll see the links down there. Yeah, check them out. And give them a shot. Give them a shout out. It's worth it. Amazing talent. I don't thumb my nose up to none of it because I do homemade cards myself. I haven't done them in a minute. I got the ones that they flip over and they twirl around. I do all of that. They're very labor intensive. I don't do too many of them because they would cost. They're very specialty cards and everything. And yeah, I do paint them. I've done some. This crazy stuff. I've done SpongeBob popping out the car. I've done all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, I do them. But they are a little pricey. But they're more like, you know, keepsakes and everything when they're all said and done. So I don't. Crafters, they put a lot of effort and time into doing what they do. So I don't put my nose down to anybody that do any type of artistic stuff. My friend wanted me to do something too, and I'm gonna do it. The last one went by very well. It was a 4-leaf clover contest. If somebody could spot it, they got the painting. And that person did spot it, and they won the painting. I mailed it to them. This one, I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm thinking, that's why I haven't done it yet, but it will be involving hummingbirds. These guys will be hidden, but I don't know how I'm going to do this because I know it's going to involve a little bit of work. I won't tell you the number of hummingbirds that will be in it, but there will be some hummingbirds in there. They're going to be cleverly hidden. I'm going to have it right there on the screen, and whoever comes up with that number, they will get the painting. But we'll see. It might even be maybe something during a if I do another paint auction. Then I may give it away because it's just gonna involve a lot of work to do it. That is your life, Marilyn. Yeah, I haven't painted it yet. It's just that, well, the hummingbirds that I've made, I've sold, and that was a few years ago. And then I've done hummingbirds with roses. I think a hummingbird with a little. I know I did a few of them, and I don't believe I got them. So, but yeah, but this one's going to take a little bit of work. And for me to do that amount of work and then give it away, I might just do it with as a paint auction, and then just give it away during that. So, but the last paint auctions that I was involved in, they were pretty good, and the people got their paintings and everything. They wrote me back and let me know, so it was cool. So. Yeah. Oh, no, Jen. No. They have to guess how many birds are in it. I won't be on camera painting that. The cameras will be off. Because it will be a contest. So, no, they won't watch me paint that one. That one will be off camera. So, okay, I think I rested enough. It's time to put folks in here. Once again, I'm still waiting for you to get that forest, something you wanted. It's got that ultramarine forest. I think it's sitting in the bin over here, sitting right on the top where the light stand is. But it's still there. Okay, let me get this knocked out. Let's get this done. Okay, the figures in here are very impressionistic figures. All you need really is general shapes. They will be silhouetted more or less in the bluish black, or more black than blue. There's gonna be a crowd of people. I'll probably put a patch of people here. Actually, they'll be like here. Then I'll stagger them. They're gonna get smaller. They'll get smaller. You get to put a couple here, and we'll put maybe a little bit, some people in here, whatever. But it's just gonna be a representation of just people there, you know. So. Yeah, I never knew really hummingbirds would be. Well, see, I'm not really a big fan of of painting animals. I have, and I've done them, and I've sold a few of them. It's not that I can't do it. It's just I would prefer not to. But yeah, I've drawn or painted fish, pit bulls, my dog and cat. You know, God knows how many American eagles I've painted. I've got one sitting on the wall people want, but I'm not ready to give that one up. That one might stick around for a minute. So, oh yeah, I still got it. It's still there. Yeah, it's not going nowhere. Nobody. I'm trying to think if anybody else ever inquired about it. They have, but they never came back to me with anything. So, you know, it's just sitting there. All right, let's get to painting some folk in here. It's just a massive group thing. I'm getting some black paint, getting some white. Now they're very impressionistic. People, it's just figures. Okay. Let's separate some of that darkness. Let's add a little more blue. Then I'll just sneak in some of that blue black in there. Okay, something like this. All right. I'll use a little bit of glisten. Right? I should have used water for this, but you know, at this point in the game, it don't matter. All right. Crowd of people. I should spread this out. And if I do, all I do is just take out the, I'll spread it out because we're near the end anyway. So let's go to camera one. You guys don't see my mug. All right, something like that. Okay. Let's put this guy up around here somewhere. All right, because you know, we're going to be in this area, so he can stay there. Alrighty then. Yes, I've painted elephants. I've done a triptych of an elephant. I did one. Well, somebody bought that one. It was a sunset, and the elephant's reflections, they were in silhouette. But the cloud was multicolored. The water was multicolored. They were in silhouette, and their reflection was a total reflection, an exact reflection, just by the waves on the bottom. That one didn't stay long. That one's gone. Hey, Angler, how you doing? Thank you very much. I'm about to wreck it because I'm about to put some impressionistic folk in here. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'll show it to you this way. Okay, we'll put little heads in there like this. But watch this, watch. I'll just pop heads in there like this. See this? See the heads? All right. And we'll get heads kind of close together like that. Different heights. Just like this. Watch how I do this. See this? Okay. Watch this. It's going to look silly, but it's going to work. Okay. All right. So we got little heads up there. I'll darken them a little bit. We got these little figures over there. We'll give the impression of a couple shoulders or whatever. Now, okay, just let's get some more. I need some more black. I need some more black and blue. Let's get a lot of paint here going for this. I want them to dry, so I'm not going to use much glycerin. I'll just use water because I want it to dry a little. Okay, I just want it to dry fast. Not hard to do these. Once you got skulls in there, all right, once it comes to doing the bodies, okay, you put little gaps in there like this. You represent a few legs or maybe a dress or something like that in there. Go straight down like that. And put them in there, different heights, make little gaps, this. Some people, you're not gonna see everything, but some of these guys are a little closer, some of them are not. But give the impression of a few arms, a few digits, you know, a couple in there like this. Don't be afraid to paint over what you've worked so hard to paint in. It's all right. It's a crowd of people. These guys are closer to us, so you're not gonna see all of that. See? Massive little, just little shapes right now. Let's dip into some water. A buddy of mine, his name is Michael Trapp. This painting took him over a year to do. It is monstrous. It's 5 feet by something. Big painting. Extremely impressive, man. This thing has so much detail in it. And all he did is paint an hour a night, or, you know, just for an hour, live. And every once in a while he'll take a break and do a smaller painting. All right. And that's, you know, that's what he did. Okay, smaller people. Small, thinner, small, just impressions of them. Put little dots right here. A little group of people right here. Stagger them a little bit, okay? Just right in this, and they're thinner. See this? Little digits or whatever. Just people. See that? I'm gonna go a little darker. I'm gonna put a little black in there because I don't want some of the foreground to show as much. But it's thinner. Just impressions. You get human-like shapes. And usually you're aiming the brush kind of downward, straight down, like this. Just a few, see? But you gotta get that skull shape in there, the roundness in there. You know, put some heads in there, okay? And make a digit of a leg or two, just like that. Some little gaps in there. But see what it's starting to look like already? All right. If they're a little transparent, I'll darken them up a little bit. Like I say, it's just the impressions of human beings. Straight. Now, I could go more detailed if I wanted to, just not really necessary. Yeah, pastels are very nice. And talk about effects. That's the thing, pastels. Boy, we talk about blending. Some people are amazing with that stuff. Yeah, they really know their thing with the pastels. The way they blend clouds and entire scenes with this stuff, it's incredible. They aren't social distance. Oh no. In my world, no, we don't have that happening. Nope, not in this pain, not in my world. Nope. It's okay. They are all right. Nope. 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 No mask. No social distancing. No. These guys are all, they're okay. This is pre-COVID-19. You know what? I think I'll just put a smaller crowd right here. You know why? We already got a crowd up front. We got a crowd, we got a couple there, right? I'm just getting a little black here. So I don't want to, we get some heads here. Different heights and whatnot right up in here. And we'll kind of, once again, you aim the digits downward. Add some interesting shapes. Like so. Put them in there. Come down below that curve there. You gotta bring them down below. Just like that. Now watch this. Check this out. Watch what I'm gonna do here. Same brush. Watch this. I could do this with a script liner. Actually, I think I'll do that with script liner. But watch how easy, because this is just a representation of them. Your eye fills in the rest. It looks more complicated than it actually is. All I did is just do some very select those scribbles. I'm using water and titanium white. Watch this. Watch this. You guys can do this. Everybody who's watching me can do this. Watch this. Check this out. And put a little. Let's get a little more water, a little more paint. It's a gentle dance of the thickness. And remember, this is titanium paint. Titanium paint is very opaque, meaning that it can cover strongly. Oh, come on. Titanium white can cover death. And we're gonna get some little head shapes in here. Head shapes, little shoulders, little arms in there, little head shapes right in here. Come on, put it in there like that, and something like that. Put a little shoulder in here, a couple lines of like that. Look at this. Look. See that? Come out here. Little dress here, pants here, little lines. Look at that. See? Look. Looks like a whole bunch of people. And I'm just putting little wiggly lines, some little head shapes. The sunlight's kind of glistening off their little heads and bodies and whatever. But you always put some elongated shapes in there. See the lines? You get the little oval head, maybe a shoulder or two. Put some lines in there. You got a little kid here, arm there. See what I'm doing here? All right. And make sure that the white that you're using is pretty thick. It's still got to be kind of loose. Like a gentle dance here. But just impressionistic stuff here. And paintings like this is meant to be looked at from a distance. Okay. I mean, but it does look like a grouping of people. And I got the lady, she got the lady pointing here, whatever, a lady or a guy. She got the little kid in the arm, like that, little egghead kid, you know, like that. Boy's about maybe 2 pills away from Ritalin, so she got to hold on to him. You know, he's the type of little kid that'll try to climb the edge, like every little curious child will do. I know, because I was one of them. Not on Ritalin, but I was a curious little kid and whatever. I was fascinated with Niagara Falls when I lived in Buffalo. All right, stuff like that here. Yeah, I walked dangerously close. I was a little fella. I was stupid. I'm thinking it's snow. You know how you go to Niagara Falls, you're walking in the tunnel. That type of deal. I remember it clear as day. My dad had to go and get me because I was walking right toward them. I was young, just a kid, not knowing I was feet away from death, or at least a good newspaper article. Okay. Of course, my mom got panicky. My dad had a smirk because he knew he'd just run up and get me. But I had no fear. I loved the noise. I seen the white water, thought it was snow. All right. Let's slap a signature in here. I do appreciate you guys watching this. I know it's a little late. 2021. And we're gonna throw a frame on this real quick. Let me peel off the tape. Well, thank you, Inspired. But as you guys can see, this is a painting that you don't normally see me do. I'm going to make this disappear. Bye-bye. All right. Okay, let's pan this out just a little bit. That should be more than enough. Let's put it back in focus. You guys don't need to see my face, as long as you still hear me. And I believe you guys still hear me. Let me know you guys still hear me. Thank you, Inspired. I believe you guys still hear me. Thank you, Diva. Can you guys hear me? I'm hoping you can. Let me make sure you guys can hear me, man. Because I don't know if you guys can hear me. Yes? Okay. Very good. How many of you just jumped since I did that? I jumped and I did it. I forgot that I made a cut over there on that side. So I just got to be careful. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the tape off, I'm pulling and going in the opposite direction so that if it does tear, it doesn't tear into the paint, to the painting. Okay. Yes, I made a cut here too with the X-Acto knife, so I just gotta be careful. I'll start from the bottom over here. I'll pull and go in the other direction. Lightly pull, 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 pull. There. All right. Let's pop a frame here. Let's get a frame real quick. I'll use the black frame first. Now this is 11 by 15 inch watercolor paper, so you would have to special order the frames because it is a very unusual size. But anyway, with a black frame, it looks pretty much like this. With a black frame anyway. That's what she's looking like, okay? All right. Let's put this guy away. I'll get the other fellow. I'll put it away the wrong way. Let's do it this way. All right. Then we use I got a brown frame, which is 11 by 14, so the measurement's not really there, but it's a thicker frame, it's a different color. But you kind of get the idea. But this is what it would look like in a brown frame. So it's really your choice. This is 11 by 14 frame, okay, which is why you got the gap of white, okay. So this is what it would look like in the brown frame, okay. So it's really your choice of you know what frame that interests you, that you like the most, really. Okay. All right. But there you go, guys. What time is it? Going on midnight here. So it looks like we did another 3-hour video. But I do, this one's probably gonna sell fast. It's amazing. Really, a lot of my paintings, because my reach isn't as high as you think. Unless I do it for an auction or whatever, or if I post it, the majority of people really don't see a lot of the stuff I do, you know. So if it sells, cool. If it doesn't sell, that's cool too. Either way. But I got the moon in there. I softened the clouds. You still got your stars working in there. You got your distant mountains. You got the cliff right here. So you got your little crowd of people. You got your little patio or whatever out there. You got the smoked glass there. So everything's there, and it's the only true black that's in this painting is really the sky. Everything else got a mixture of blue in it, really. So, but yeah, and the mountains has been glazed, the moon has been glazed, the clouds have been glazed. Yeah, so you got various tones of gray and blue, and you got all sorts of stuff working in there. So it's all good, you know. I do appreciate you guys watching, and you know, and for those who are interested in doing something like this, you know, because I know people will watch this when it's finished. It's easy to do. The only reason why the video is lengthy is because I'm instructing and I'm teaching how to do it. You know, it probably looks a lot more complicated than it actually really was. But then again, I do use glycerin. You can do it with water. You'll be working a whole lot faster. So different mediums, different ways, different methods to do it, you know. So, but guys and gals, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you did too, Diva. It was great to see you again. You know, I got one heck of a week. I'm going to be pretty busy starting tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm going to be busy all through the week. But I should be in the chat room tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pack a lunch. That's going to be a lengthy video because I'm painting the cabin that I drew last week. I don't know what I'm going to do for the Wednesday live because I believe I might have an appointment. I don't know as of yet, but Wednesday is usually around 6 o'clock. I'm live and I'll do something. Maybe I'll pop another flower on there or something. Maybe I'll do an iris, who knows, or a butterfly. I might do a butterfly and a rose, something like that. Okay. Stuff like this on Sunday nights / Monday morning, and I did one Saturday. Those are impromptu, you know, so I do those whenever the mood swing hits me to do them. So all right, guys, be safe, be careful, enjoy life, have a very wonderful evening / morning, depending on where you are in the country or on the planet. I shall see you guys when I see you. I will post the thumbnail to this painting on YouTube, and I will post the painting on Facebook. All right, you guys take care.